Picture this. You're sitting at home, minding your own business, when suddenly your partner or best friend says something that really gets under your skin. It's like they know exactly which buttons to push. You feel your blood pressure rising, and you're ready to snap back. But wait. What if I told you there's more to this situation than meets the eye? What if the person you love isn't just being difficult, but is actually playing a crucial role in your life's journey? We've all been there. That moment when someone close to us seems to be going out of their way to test our patience. It's frustrating, it's annoying, and it can make us question why we even bother with relationships. But here's the kicker. These challenging moments might just be the key to unlocking a whole new level of personal growth and understanding. Think about it. Why does it seem like the people we care about most are often the ones who push our buttons the hardest? It's not just bad luck or a cosmic joke. There's something deeper going on, something that could change the way you see your relationships forever. Now let's dive into the big idea that's going to blow your mind. Every difficult interaction, every argument, and every moment of frustration in your relationships isn't just random. These are actually spiritual tests, carefully designed to help you grow and evolve as a person. I know. It sounds a bit out there, right? But stick with me, because understanding this concept can completely transform the way you handle your relationships. Imagine being able to stay calm and collected even when your loved one is driving you up the wall. Picture yourself growing stronger and wiser with each challenge, instead of feeling drained and resentful. These spiritual tests in relationships aren't about punishing you or making your life difficult. They're like a personal trainer for your soul, pushing you to become the best version of yourself. Just like how lifting weights builds your muscles, these relationship challenges are building your emotional and spiritual strength. But here's the thing. Most of us don't realize we're being tested. We get caught up in the heat of the moment, reacting with anger or frustration. We miss the valuable lessons hidden within these difficult interactions. That's why understanding this big idea is so important. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that lets you see the true purpose behind your relationship struggles. Here's where most of us get it wrong. When we're in the middle of a tense situation with someone we love, our first instinct is often to prove we're right. We want to win the argument, to come out on top. But this approach is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It only makes things worse. Let's break it down. Say your partner forgets your anniversary. Your immediate reaction might be anger. You might want to yell, give them the silent treatment, or make them feel guilty. And sure, in the short term, that might make you feel better. But does it actually solve anything? Does it make your relationship stronger? The truth is, reacting with anger or trying to win in these situations is a huge missed opportunity. It's like being handed a valuable gift and tossing it in the trash without even opening it. When we get caught up in being right, we completely miss the point of these tests. So what's the alternative? Instead of seeing these challenging moments as battles to be won, we need to start viewing them as opportunities for growth. Every time your patience is tested, it's like life is tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, here's a chance to become a better person." This doesn't mean you should be a doormat or let people walk all over you. Far from it. It's about understanding that there's more going on beneath the surface. It's about recognizing that the person testing your patience might actually be your greatest teacher. Think about the last time someone really pushed your buttons. Maybe it was your spouse leaving dirty dishes in the sink again, or your friend always being late. Now imagine if instead of getting angry, you asked yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this help me grow? It's a total game changer. But here's the tricky part. This isn't easy. Our natural instinct is to react, to defend ourselves, to prove we're right. Changing this habit takes practice and patience. It's like learning a new language or picking up a new skill. At first, it feels awkward and unnatural, but with time and practice, it becomes second nature. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where your patience is being tested, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this isn't just an annoying moment. It's a valuable opportunity. Ask yourself what you can learn from this situation. How can it help you become a better partner, friend, or person? This shift in perspective doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, and like any journey, it has its ups and downs. There will be times when you slip back into old habits, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying, to keep reminding yourself of the bigger picture. Remember, every great story has moments of conflict and challenge. These are what make the story interesting and help the characters grow. Your life is no different. These tests of patience in your relationships are the plot twists that make your story richer and more meaningful. So instead of seeing these challenging moments as obstacles, start seeing them as stepping stones. Each test of your patience is a chance to become more understanding, more compassionate, and more in tune with yourself and others. It's not about winning arguments or proving you're right. It's about growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. This doesn't mean you should put up with truly toxic behavior or stay in unhealthy relationships. There's a big difference between a spiritual test and a harmful situation. If you're in a relationship that's consistently harmful or abusive, it's important to seek help and prioritize your safety and well-being. But for those everyday frustrations and challenges in otherwise healthy relationships, this new perspective can be life-changing. It turns those moments of frustration into opportunities for growth. It transforms your relationships from sources of stress into catalysts for personal development. So the next time you feel your patience being tested by someone you love, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Remember that there might be more to this situation than meets the eye. Instead of reacting, try responding with curiosity and openness. Ask yourself what you can learn from this moment. This approach might feel strange at first. You might even feel like you're letting the other person get away with something. But trust me, the rewards are worth it. Not only will you find yourself becoming more patient and understanding, but you'll also notice your relationships improving. After all, when you respond to challenges with grace and wisdom, you create a space for others to do the same. It's like a ripple effect. As you start to handle these tests of patience with more grace and understanding, you'll notice a shift in your relationships. The people around you might start responding differently too. It's as if your new approach gives them permission to be more patient and understanding as well. Think about it this way. Every time your patience is tested, it's like life is offering you a choice. You can choose the old path of reacting with frustration and anger, or you can choose the new path of growth and understanding. And here's the amazing thing. Each time you choose the path of growth, it gets a little easier to make that choice the next time. This doesn't mean you'll never get frustrated again. You're human after all. There will still be times when you lose your cool or react in ways you later regret. But as you practice this new approach, you'll find those moments becoming less frequent and less intense. And here's another cool thing. As you start to see these tests of patience as opportunities for growth, you might actually start to welcome them. I know, it sounds crazy. Who wants more challenges in their life, right? But think about it like this. Each challenge is a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. It's like a workout for your soul. So the next time someone you love is really pushing your buttons, try to see it as a gift. It's a chance to practice patience, to deepen your understanding, and to grow as a person. It's an opportunity to choose love and understanding over frustration and anger. Remember, the person testing your patience isn't your enemy. They're not trying to make your life difficult, even if it feels that way sometimes. In a weird way, they're actually your ally in this journey of personal growth. They're giving you the chance to become the best version of yourself. Of course, this doesn't mean you should let people walk all over you or ignore your own needs. It's still important to set healthy boundaries and communicate clearly. But when you approach these situations from a place of understanding rather than anger, you're much more likely to find positive solutions. Think of it like this. Every test of your patience is like a fork in the road. You can choose the path of reaction, which usually leads to more conflict and frustration. Or you can choose the path of growth, which leads to greater understanding and stronger relationships. The choice is yours, and you get to make it new each time. This approach can be especially powerful when dealing with family members or long-term partners. These are often the people who know how to push our buttons the best, right? But they are also the people we care about the most. By seeing their button pushing as a chance for growth rather than a personal attack, we can transform our most important relationships. Imagine how different your life could be if you approached every challenging interaction as a chance to grow. Instead of dreading conflicts or difficult conversations, you might start to see them as opportunities. Opportunities to practice patience, to deepen your understanding, and to become a better version of yourself. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly become a saint overnight. There will still be times when you lose your cool or say things you regret. But each time you choose patience and understanding over anger and frustration, you're building new habits. You're rewiring your brain to respond differently to challenges. And here's the really cool part. As you start to change your response to these tests of patience, you might notice the tests themselves changing. It's like the universe recognizes that you've learned one lesson, so it starts giving you new, different challenges to help you grow even more. This journey of personal growth through relationships isn't always easy. There will be days when it feels like too much, when you just want to give up and go back to your old ways of reacting. But stick with it. The rewards are worth it. Not only will you find your relationships improving, but you'll also discover a sense of inner peace and strength you never knew you had. Remember, every great story has moments of challenge and growth. Your life is no different. These tests of patience in your relationships are the plot twists that make your story richer and more meaningful. They're the moments that help you become the hero of your own life story. So the next time you feel your patience being tested by someone you love, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this is more than just an annoying moment. It's a valuable opportunity, an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of yourself. An opportunity to choose love and understanding over frustration and anger. This shift in perspective might not happen overnight. It's a journey, and like any journey, it has its ups and downs. There will be times when you slip back into old habits, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep trying, to keep reminding yourself of the bigger picture. Now, let's pull back the curtain and reveal the hidden truth that's been right in front of us all along. Those difficult people in your life, the ones who seem to go out of their way to test your patience, they're not just random annoyances. They're actually spiritual teachers in disguise, sent to help you grow and evolve. I know it sounds a bit out there. You might be thinking, my annoying coworker is a spiritual teacher? Yeah, right. But hear me out. This idea has the power to completely transform the way you see your relationships and handle conflicts. Think about it. Who are the people that challenge you the most? Maybe it's your partner who never seems to listen, or your friend who's always late, or your parent who constantly criticizes you. These aren't just flaws in their personality. They're actually holding up a mirror, showing you areas where you need to grow. Let's break it down. Say you have a friend who's always running late. This drives you crazy, right? But what if, instead of just being annoyed, you asked yourself what this situation is trying to teach you? Maybe it's a lesson in patience. Or perhaps it's showing you that you need to be more flexible, less rigid in your expectations. Or consider a partner who seems to shut down during arguments. Frustrating, isn't it? But what if this is actually an opportunity for you to learn better communication skills? To practice expressing yourself clearly and calmly, even when emotions are running high? These difficult people in our lives are like personal trainers for our souls. They push us out of our comfort zones, challenge our assumptions, and force us to confront parts of ourselves we might rather ignore. It's not always comfortable, but it's through this discomfort that we grow. Now, this doesn't mean you should put up with truly toxic or abusive behavior. There's a big difference between a challenging relationship that helps you grow and one that's genuinely harmful. If you're in a situation that's consistently damaging your well-being, it's important to set boundaries or even walk away. But for those everyday frustrations and conflicts, try viewing them through this new lens. See the person testing your patience not as an adversary, but as a teacher. Ask yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? How can I use this to become a better version of myself? This shift in perspective can be truly life-changing. Suddenly, every annoying interaction becomes an opportunity for growth. Every conflict becomes a chance to practice patience, understanding, and compassion. It's like turning lead into gold, transforming life's frustrations into valuable lessons. Now that we understand the hidden truth behind those patience-testing moments, let's talk about how to recognize when you're in the middle of one of these spiritual tests. It's like being able to spot a pop quiz before it even starts. Once you know the signs, you'll be better prepared to handle the challenge. First up, repetition. If you find yourself dealing with the same frustrating situation over and over again, That's a big sign you're being tested. Maybe it's your partner forgetting important dates, or your friend always asking for favors but never returning them. When life keeps serving up the same lesson, it's because you haven't fully learned it yet. Think of it like this. If you keep failing a test in school, you have to take it again, right? Life works the same way. If you keep reacting with anger or frustration to a certain situation, life will keep presenting that situation until you learn to respond differently. Another sign is intensity of emotion. When someone really pushes your buttons and you feel your blood boiling, that's often a sign you're in the middle of a spiritual test. The stronger your emotional reaction, the bigger the opportunity for growth. It's like life is saying, "Hey, pay attention here. This is important." Those intense emotions are like a spotlight, illuminating areas where you need to do some inner work. Maybe you need to practice staying calm under pressure or learn to set better boundaries. A third sign is timing. Have you ever noticed how certain challenges seem to pop up at the worst possible moments? Like when you're already stressed about work and suddenly your partner does that one thing that always annoys you? That's not just bad luck. It's often a sign of a spiritual test. These tests often come when we're already feeling vulnerable or stretched thin. It's like life is saying, "Okay, you've got the basics down. Now let's see how you handle things under pressure." It's not about making your life harder, but about helping you become stronger and more resilient. The fourth sign is a feeling of being stuck. If you find yourself having the same argument over and over with someone, or feeling like you're trapped in a cycle of frustration, that's often a sign you're in the middle of a spiritual test. It's like being in a maze where you keep hitting dead ends. The way out isn't to keep banging your head against the wall, but to stop, take a step back, and look at the situation from a new perspective. What are you not seeing? What do you need to learn or change to break this cycle? Recognizing these signs is the first step in turning these challenging moments into opportunities for growth. Once you can spot a spiritual test in action, you can approach it with a different mindset. Instead of getting caught up in frustration or anger, you can pause and ask yourself, what am I meant to learn from this? All right, now that we know how to spot these spiritual tests, let's talk about how to ace them. Remember, the goal isn't to make the challenges disappear. It's to handle them in a way that helps you grow and strengthens your relationships. First up, practice the pause. When you feel your patience being tested, take a deep breath before you react. Count to 10 if you need to. This little pause can make a big difference. It gives you a moment to step back from your immediate emotional reaction and choose how you want to respond. Think of it like a speed bump for your emotions. It slows you down just enough to give you a chance to think before you speak or act. In that pause, ask yourself, how can I respond in a way that I'll be proud of later? Next, try to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on how annoying or frustrating the other person is being, try to see things from their point of view. What might be going on in their life that's causing them to act this way? This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but understanding where they're coming from can help you respond with more compassion. It's like being a detective, trying to solve the mystery of why someone is acting the way they are. Maybe your always late friend is struggling with anxiety. Maybe your critical parent is actually worried about you and doesn't know how to express it. When you can see the person behind the behavior, it becomes easier to respond with patience and kindness. Another powerful tool is to focus on what you can control. In any challenging situation, there are things you can change and things you can't. You can't control how other people act, but you can control how you respond. Instead of wasting energy trying to change the other person, focus on managing your own reactions and emotions. Think of it like a garden. You can't control the weather, but you can choose what you plant and how you tend to it. In the same way, you can't control other people's actions, but you can cultivate patience, understanding, and compassion in yourself. Practice self-reflection. After a challenging interaction, take some time to think about how you handled it. What went well? What could you have done differently? This isn't about beating yourself up, but about learning and growing. Each difficult moment is a chance to gain insight into yourself and your relationships. It's like being your own coach, reviewing the game tape after a match. What strategies worked? What didn't? How can you improve for next time? The more you practice this kind of self-reflection, the better equipped you'll be to handle future challenges. Remember, responding to these tests with patience and understanding doesn't mean being a pushover. It's important to set healthy boundaries and communicate your needs clearly. The key is to do this from a place of calm and self-awareness, rather than anger or frustration. Think of it like being the captain of a ship in a storm. You can't control the waves, but you can steer your ship skillfully. You can choose your direction and how you navigate the challenges. With practice, you'll become better at steering through even the roughest waters. Lastly, be kind to yourself. Nobody's perfect, and there will be times when you lose your cool or handle a situation in a way you later regret. That's okay. It's all part of the learning process. The important thing is to pick yourself up, learn from the experience, and try again. Think of these spiritual tests like a video game. Each challenge is a new level, a chance to gain more skills and become stronger. And just like in a game, you might have to try a level multiple times before you beat it. That's not failure, it's practice. As you start applying these tips, you might be surprised at how your relationships begin to change. The person who used to drive you crazy might suddenly seem less annoying. The conflicts that used to ruin your day might become opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. Remember, the goal isn't to become some kind of superhuman who never gets frustrated or angry. We're all human, with real emotions and reactions. The goal is to become more aware, more intentional in how we handle challenging situations. It's about growing, learning, and becoming the best version of ourselves. So the next time you find yourself in a situation that's testing your patience, take a deep breath. Remember that this is more than just an annoying moment. It's an opportunity to practice patience, to deepen your understanding, to become a little bit wiser and more compassionate. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you feel like you're failing every test life throws at you. But keep at it. Each time you choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment, you're not just improving your relationships, you're growing as a person. And here's the really amazing thing. As you start to handle these tests with more grace and wisdom, you might find that the tests themselves start to change. It's like the universe recognizes that you've mastered one lesson, so it starts giving you new, different challenges to help you grow even more. So embrace these tests of patience. See them for what they really are, not annoyances or obstacles, but opportunities. Opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more loving. Opportunities to transform your relationships and your life. Remember, every great story has moments of challenge and growth. Your life is no different. These tests of patience in your relationships are the plot twists that make your story richer and more meaningful. They're the moments that help you become the hero of your own life story. So the next time someone pushes your buttons or tests your patience, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that this is your chance to grow, to learn, to become a better version of yourself. It's your chance to turn lead into gold, to transform a challenging moment into an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. This journey of personal growth through relationships isn't always easy. There will be days when it feels like too much, when you just want to give up and go back to your old ways of reacting. But stick with it. The rewards are worth it. Not only will you find your relationships improving, but you'll also discover a sense of inner peace and strength you never knew you had. Now that we've explored how to recognize and handle these spiritual tests, let's talk about the incredible benefits that come from mastering this approach. It's not just about making your relationships smoother, though that's certainly a big plus. The rewards of learning to handle these tests of patience go far beyond that, touching every aspect of your life. First and foremost, you'll notice a significant improvement in your relationships. When you start responding to challenges with patience and understanding instead of anger or frustration, it's like pouring oil on troubled waters. Conflicts that used to escalate into full-blown arguments might now become opportunities for deeper connection and understanding. Think about it. How different would your relationships be if, instead of getting defensive or angry when someone pushes your buttons, you were able to respond with calm and compassion? It's like having a superpower in your interactions with others. But the benefits don't stop there. As you practice patience and understanding in your relationships, you'll find these skills spilling over into other areas of your life. That frustrating situation at work? You'll be better equipped to handle it calmly and effectively. Traffic jam on your way home? Instead of getting stressed, you might find yourself using the time to reflect or listen to a podcast. It's like you're building a muscle of resilience and emotional intelligence. The more you exercise it in your close relationships, the stronger it gets, and the more it helps you in all areas of your life. You'll also likely notice a significant decrease in your overall stress levels. When you're not constantly reacting to every little annoyance or frustration, life becomes a lot more peaceful. It's like you've turned down the volume on the constant chatter of stress and irritation in your mind. This reduction in stress can have profound effects on your physical health, too. Less stress means better sleep, a stronger immune system, and even a reduced risk of various health problems. It's amazing how learning to handle relationship challenges more effectively can actually make you healthier. Another incredible benefit is the boost to your self-esteem and confidence. Every time you successfully navigate a challenging situation with patience and grace, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of growth and change. It's like leveling up in the game of life. You'll start to see yourself as someone who can handle difficult situations, someone who doesn't get knocked off balance by every little challenge. This confidence will radiate out into all areas of your life, affecting everything from your career to your personal goals. Perhaps one of the most profound benefits is the spiritual growth you'll experience. As you learn to see challenging people and situations as teachers rather than obstacles, you'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. You'll start to see the interconnectedness of all things and how even difficult experiences can serve a higher purpose in your life. It's like putting on a pair of spiritual glasses that let you see the hidden lessons and opportunities in every interaction. This perspective can bring a sense of peace and purpose to your life, even in the face of challenges. You might also find that your ability to empathize with others grows significantly. As you practice seeing things from other people's perspectives, you'll develop a deeper understanding of human nature. This increased empathy can make you a better friend, partner, parent, and colleague. Lastly, you'll likely find that your overall happiness and life satisfaction increase. When you're not constantly at the mercy of your reactions to other people's behavior, you gain a sense of control over your own experience of life. You're no longer a leaf blown about by the winds of other people's actions, but a strong tree, rooted in your own inner peace and understanding. Now that we've explored the amazing benefits of mastering these spiritual tests, let's talk about a simple exercise you can try to start putting these ideas into practice. Remember, like any skill, patience and understanding get stronger with practice. This exercise is like a workout for your spiritual and emotional muscles. Here's what I want you to do. For the next week, choose one person in your life who often tests your patience. It could be your partner, a family member, a coworker, or even that neighbor who always seems to be making noise when you're trying to relax. Now, every time this person does something that would normally frustrate you, I want you to pause. Take a deep breath. In that moment, instead of reacting with your usual frustration or anger, ask yourself these 3 questions. What might be going on in their life that's causing them to act this way? What can I learn from this situation? How can I respond in a way that I'll be proud of later? Take a moment to really think about these questions. You might even want to jot down your answers in a journal. Then, based on your answers, choose to respond with patience and understanding. This doesn't mean you have to agree with their behavior or let them walk all over you. It just means approaching the situation with a spirit of compassion and a willingness to understand. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on how it went. What did you learn? How did it feel to respond differently? Did you notice any changes in the other person's behavior or in your relationship with them? This exercise might feel awkward or challenging at first. That's okay. Remember, you're learning a new skill. It's like learning to play an instrument or speak a new language. It takes practice and patience with yourself. The key is to stick with it. Even if you slip up and react with frustration sometimes, and you probably will, we're all human, don't give up. Each interaction is a new opportunity to practice. As you do this exercise, you might be surprised at what you discover. You might gain new insights into the person you chose or learn something about yourself. You might find that situations that used to drive you crazy now barely ruffle your feathers. Remember, the goal isn't to become a saint who never gets annoyed. It's about learning to handle challenging situations with more grace and wisdom. It's about growing as a person and improving your relationships. As we wrap up our exploration of why the people we love sometimes test our patience, let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey we've embarked on. We've uncovered hidden truths, gained new perspectives, and discovered practical tools for transforming our relationships and our lives. Remember, every test of patience is an opportunity for growth. Those challenging people in your life, they're not obstacles to your happiness. They're catalysts for your evolution. They're holding up mirrors, showing you areas where you can become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. By learning to recognize these spiritual tests, understanding their purpose, and responding with patience and wisdom, you're not just improving your relationships, you're embarking on a profound journey of personal and spiritual growth. This journey isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel like you're failing every test life throws at you. But don't get discouraged. Each challenging interaction is a chance to practice, to learn, to become a little bit better than you were yesterday. As you continue on this path, you'll likely find that your relationships become richer and more fulfilling. You'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself and others. You'll cultivate a sense of inner peace that can weather any storm. But perhaps most importantly, you'll be growing into the best version of yourself. Every time you choose patience over anger, understanding over judgment, you're not just improving your relationships, you're becoming the person you're meant to be. So the next time someone pushes your buttons or tests your patience, take a deep breath. Remember that this moment is more than just an annoyance. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become wiser and more loving. Embrace these tests of patience. See them for what they really are, not obstacles, but stepping stones on your path to personal growth and deeper, more meaningful relationships. Your journey of growth and transformation starts now with the very next challenging interaction you face. Are you ready to turn those tests of patience into opportunities for growth? The power is in your hands. Take that deep breath, ask those important questions, and step into the best version of yourself. Remember, every great story has moments of challenge and growth. These tests of patience are the plot twists in your life story, the moments that make your journey rich and meaningful. They're your chance to become the hero of your own tale. So go forth with courage and compassion, ready to face each test with an open heart and a willingness to grow. Your relationships and your life will never be the same.